It was 2 a.m. over Russia's heartland, a quiet, mist-covered sky above the industrial city of Saransk. And then out of the darkness came a storm of light. 48 drones, moving together like a living organism, approached one of Russia's most secure military sites, the Saransk Mechanical Plant, the factory that builds the deadly mines used across the front lines in Donbas. Their mission: to cripple a cornerstone of Russia's war machine. Their weapon: precision deception and artificial intelligence. As the drones crossed into Russian airspace, defenders activated one of their strongest shields, the Krasuka 4 electronic warfare system. It poured invisible energy into the sky, jamming every GPS signal for miles. Normally, this would blind any drone, but not this time. These were AI-guided AQ-400 Scythe drones built to think, to see, and to adapt. When GPS vanished, their onboard computers switched to terrain recognition mode, comparing live camera footage to preloaded maps. Using rivers, forests, and roads as guides, they kept flying silent, low, unstoppable. At just 10 miles out, the swarm split. 44 drones suddenly climbed, showing themselves to the Russian radar. It was a deliberate sacrifice. Those decoys drew every missile the Russians had. Within seconds, air defense systems fired in panic. 12 interceptors, then 12 more. Each missile found its target, blowing the decoys apart. But that was exactly what Ukraine's planners intended. In under a minute, Russia's primary air defense unit was out of ammunition and completely exposed. As defenders scrambled to reload the remaining drones, the real attackers dropped to tree level, racing forward under the radar. This operation wasn't improvised, it was intelligence-driven, timed to the second. Ukraine's military intelligence had studied everything: radio frequencies, shift changes, even when the night supply truck arrived at the front gate. Fog blanketed the area, blinding infrared sensors meant to detect intruders, and when a familiar truck's headlights appeared, guards heard a calm voice on the radio, in perfect Russian. New shifts stuck at the gate. Open up were on schedule. Overwhelmed by noise, alarms, and chaos, the guard obeyed. The gate opened, and through that small gap, 4 strike drones slipped inside the facility, unseen. By the time reinforcements arrived, 3 armored vehicles and an old anti-aircraft gun, it was already too late. The first drone dived straight into Building 7, the plant's main assembly hall. Its hardened nose punched through the steel wall before detonating inside. The explosion triggered a chain reaction, thousands of mines detonating in a blinding flash. A second drone hit the fuse and igniter workshop, destroying the delicate machinery needed to produce new weapons. The third and fourth drones didn't target new buildings. They plunged into the inferno itself, ripping open the structure to feed oxygen into the flames. The result wasn't just an explosion. It was a firestorm, a man-made hurricane of fire that consumed the plant from within. By dawn, 70% of the Saransk facility was gone. Tens of thousands of mines destroyed, production lines reduced to molten steel. The financial loss, nearly 100 million. But the true cost ran far deeper. That single strike severed a vital supply chain feeding Russia's front lines. For months, commanders would be forced to ration mines, leaving gaps in defensive lines and giving Ukraine precious breathing room. What cost Ukraine around 1.4 million in drones inflicted nearly 100 times that in damage and delivered a psychological blow that rippled across Russia's military. But Saransk was only half the story. That same night, hundreds of miles away, another Ukrainian team launched 2 long-range Lyuty drones across the Caspian Sea. Flying at 30,000 feet invisible to radar, they struck a refinery in Dagestan, hitting a massive catalytic cracking tower, the only one capable of producing fuel for Russia's Black Sea fleet. The explosion lit the horizon, cutting deep into Russia's naval logistics. It wasn't just another drone strike, it was a coordinated double assault, targeting both Russia's future and its present. The Saransk strike crippled the ability to make mines the weapons of defense. The Dagestan strike destroyed the fuel, the lifeblood of offense. Together they exposed a painful truth. Russia's rear isn't safe anymore. The homeland has become the new front line. The Kremlin tried to dismiss it as an accident, blaming careless workers. But the footage, the fireball, the shockwaves, the mushroom cloud, spread online within minutes. The illusion of safety was gone. For Russian soldiers in the trenches, morale cracked. For civilians, the war was no longer distant. And for military planners in Moscow, it forced an impossible choice: protect the front or protect the factories that keep the front alive. Within days, reports surfaced that Russia was pulling dozens of Panzer air defense systems away from combat zones to guard factories and refineries. That move left frontline units more exposed than ever, creating new openings for Ukrainian strikes. One meticulously planned operation, executed with drones costing less than a single tank, had forced a complete rethinking of Russian military logistics and air defense. It wasn't just a victory on the battlefield. It was a masterclass in modern warfare, where intelligence, timing, and AI precision could achieve what no missile barrage ever could. On that foggy night over Saransk, the sound of war wasn't thunder or artillery. It was the faint hum of electric wings. In just 8 minutes, a handful of drones reshaped an entire theater of war. They didn't just destroy a factory. They destroyed an illusion that power alone guarantees safety. The message was unmistakable. In the age of AI, the smallest machines can change the largest wars.